Dragon's Dogma 2, Trickster Vocation Breakdown. Absolutely, we get some more Dragon's Dogma. IGN first.
Dragon's Dogma 2 offers a wide variety of playstyles.
This one looks good, man.
Vocation you select. Most of these are the kinds of archetypes that you'd expect: melee sword fighter, speedy dagger wielding thief, ranged archer,
well, I was gonna
and
say assassin, but
mage.
Okay, so
and
mage.
Some are hybrid vocations like Mystic Spearhand and Magic Archer.
Ooh,
that
I like
combine
that.
elements of one vocation with another for a completely new style of play.
Oh, that's
but
pretty
what
cool.
of the Trickster Vocation? It was revealed as part of the Dragon's Dogma 2.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
November,
Yeah.
But little has been shown of this unique class beyond that quick 45-second look.
Yeah, they like make each other attack each other or whatever.
Fortunately, as part of our visit to Capcom, we got to sit down and play with the Trickster for about an hour.
Daggers are the way to go for you. I'm sword and shield all day.
Anything I've ever seen in open world.
That dude's name is Ninja. What do you mean? I didn't play this game.
To start, the Trickster is essentially a pacifist. Their chosen weapon, a ceremonial censer, does little to no damage when it's swung at an enemy. Instead,
I bet you it's Mr. Blevins.
Attacking is to build up aggro and
damn that blue-haired
to that end,
man.
You also have a special ability called Suffocating Shroud that sends out your smoke in a wide area and draws a large amount of enemy attention towards you. So the question is, why would you want to get a whole group of enemies swarming on you if you
so that you can help your allies out?
See, that's where the word Trickster comes into play. By using the Trickster's unique skill, Effigial Incense, you create a simulacrum, or a clone for simplicity's sake, that enemies will perceive as the real you. This clone has its own health bar and will disappear if it's killed, but
so you get him to come after you, and then you
while it's still
put the
alive
clone
with the
up.
press of a button. This way, you can basically kite enemies to wherever you want.
Yeah, this is like PhD type of stuff.
Keep your clone alive.
Yeah.
So you can maneuver a foe to get an environmental advantage, which is super important because the Trickster shines the brightest when there are cliffs, uneven surfaces, or other elements of the environment that can be used to your advantage. The Trickster has two abilities designed around creating surfaces that aren't really there, but appear real to enemies.
Wow.
First, Terrorist creates a cloud that can be placed off a ledge that the enemy will perceive as real solid ground. And the second,
and then they'll run off of it.
Will create a wall of smoke that you can see through, but the enemy cannot. The final piece of this puzzle is the Visitant Aura, a technique that essentially allows you to make an astral projection that you can freely move around to scout the landscape.
That's pretty cool, man. Big brain class. Absolutely.
So using Elusive Divider to give yourself some cover while using it in the heat of battle is a good idea. Crucially, you can float off ledges, ascend or descend at will, and even call your clone to wherever your projection currently is.
That's cool.
I'm sure you can probably see why that might be useful.
Yeah.
When you combine all of these tricks together, the real value of the Trickster comes into view. Before getting into a combat encounter, you can create a clone with Effigial Incense, use Visitant Aura to scout out an area for enemies and look for any sort of environmental hazards, like a cliff for instance.
Dude, and just set it there.
Hovers over said environmental
Boom.
Place a false floor underneath it with Tricky Terrace, then lure enemies close to the clone
with
a Suffocating Shroud to send all their aggro
go
towards
after
the
them.
clone, and then watch as enemies throw themselves off the ledge in effort to get at you.
That's very cool. There he goes. Bye. That's awesome. Oh, I don't know yet. Oh, no, yet.
Now, obviously, this is a lot of prep to go through, and it isn't going to be practical in every single situation, which is why the Trickster is also equipped with some other tricks up their sleeves. First and foremost, they are a support class, relying on and substantially buffing the strength of their pawn party that they can do most of the heavy lifting.
Nice.
One such buff is Aromatic Resurgence, which supercharges your party, making them hit a lot harder. While I was playing for gameplay capture reasons, I had to make a mental note not to use this buff because my pawns would kill all of my foes before I got a chance to show off any of the more technical tricks of the vocation. The most powerful spell I saw of the Tricksters was Dragon's Delusion, which takes some time to cast, but brings forth an illusion of a dragon that terrifies any enemy that sees it, even large ogres, bringing them down to their knees.
That is cool, man.
To do big damage. Since most of the Trickster's other skills seemed well suited for dealing with small to mid-sized enemies, this was a really nice addition to see as something that could also let them deal with
Here comes the dragon.
Enemies.
What?
Trickster was not an easy vocation to figure out in just an hour's time. It took me a little while to fully grasp the aggro system, avoiding pulling too much aggro and not having a way to get away from the enemies I just attracted, but once it clicked, I found it to be a uniquely satisfying
it's gonna take time.
Brought to mind one of the core tenets of Devil May Cry's combat. It's not just about killing every enemy in the room, but how you kill every enemy.
Yeah.
It's an intentionally underpowered vocation that's designed to encourage creative thinking to solve difficult combat problems in ways beyond just swinging a weapon or hurling a tornado at it. And it's one that I'm very excited to experiment more with once I've got my hands on the
Oh, that one looks dope,
Thanks
dude.
for watching, and this is just the beginning of our IGN first coverage of Dragon's Dogma 2. In case you missed it, make sure to check out our 18 minutes of gameplay.
Oh, we saw it.
Of the vocations, and for everything else, give it a ear on IGN.
IGN. And me for watching it. Yeah, that's actually cool, man. Like, honestly, Dragon's Dogma 2, that was the Trickster Vocation breakdown. That was actually really cool. Dragon's Dogma 2 just looks good.